Now, the cost of living in South Africa figures just came in today, and as you know, it's going to notice that the figures came at 2.8%. Now, this is slightly above, or this is slightly higher than the 2.7% we saw for the month of March, but look, it is still very, very low, because the SA Reserve Bank's target was between 3 to 6%. This simply means that this 2.8%, it's still below the target by the SA Reserve Bank, which this simply means that obviously next week, I think on the 29th, not, is it next week? Yeah, next week on the 29th, the interest rate decision could be that of dropping down interest rates, which will bring a relief to all of the South Africans, right? It will be a good news to all of us, and this is as a result of the inflation being this low. But another thing that could be very, very important on the decision for interest rates next week, it is the meeting that is taking place today at the White House between our president with President of the United States, Donald Trump. The two presidents are expected to meet, I think, around 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. This afternoon, late this afternoon. And I must tell you, there are a lot of people that will be watching, or that will be waiting for the developments to say what was discussed, what is the verdict, and people are just hoping that we get positive response, or the results are good, which, if that is the case, then we can be quite certain that interest rates next week are gonna drop, right? Because inflation, it will be low. The tensions between us and the US would have been at least be resolved, which this could give, or which could make things better or easier for the SA Reserve Bank to consider cutting or dropping interest rates, which will be good news to all of the South African consumers. So we'll be closely monitoring this. Tonight's meeting is also important. Yes, inflation or the cost of living in South Africa is low, but this meeting remains to be very important, because the SA Reserve Bank, one of the things that has been making them to not decrease interest rates, though inflation is this low, has been the tensions between South Africa and the United States of America, has been the tensions between China and the United States of America. And we know that right now the United States of America and China, there is some solution there. There is some resolution which the two parties got to after their meeting in I think Switzerland 2 weeks ago, which we discussed on this channel, which that already it's positive. What we just need, at least, it's some sort of resolution between South Africa and the USA, right? Tonight, during that meeting with President Ramaphosa and President Trump, which, if that is dealt with, or that comes out very well, then it's going to be lights out, right? Next week we are to expect a huge interest rate drop. I think it can be even 0.5%, because I mean, this has been one of the hurdles that has been making the SA Reserve Bank to not want to drop interest rates, right? The tensions, the geopolitical tensions, has been the one thing that is making, of course, the SA Reserve Bank not to want to drop interest rates. But because China and US, they've reached an agreement, because we could potentially also reach an agreement tonight, if all goes well, then there won't be any reason why the SA Reserve Bank won't drop interest rates. So we are begging on this meeting for tonight, and we are just hoping that things go well, because if they go well, then it's going to be lights out, right? You will know that the inflation figures, these 2.8%, I've discussed with you how it works, right? Why it's important for you to know or to monitor this figure, because this is the figure that even on your savings, your investments, you need to make sure that you subtract whatever interest you are getting from your savings, your investments, you subtract this 2.8%, because that is your real real interest, because this 2.8 of inflation which we got today, that is the rate at which money is losing value right now in South Africa. This is the rate at which your money is losing value right now, and the higher this figure is, the more you lose money. That's if you are not saving, or you are just maybe having hard cash. Having hard cash, a lot of hard cash is not a very good thing to do, because that money sitting in your house, that money sitting in your safe, that money sitting wherever you are putting it as hard cash, it's losing money due to inflation, which right now the current rate at which money is losing value, it's 2%, 2.8% in South Africa. This figure was once 7.8% 2 years back, when inflation hit some pretty high, of course, figures due to what was happening after obviously COVID, right? I mean, because of the injections, because of a lot of printing money that took place by countries, this resulted in a lot of people having a lot of money to spend, which triggered inflation, because when there is too much demand of products and the supply is low, prices of those products usually go high, which that of course it triggers inflation, right? Which is something that it led us to where we were. But now inflation from the 7.8 is now at 2.8, which is very, very good, because imagine for you to see growth 2 years ago, you needed to subtract the interest that you're getting from your savings, which that 5% or your 6%, with that 7.8%, which simply means that even if the bank was giving you that 5%, 6%, you were still losing money. Your money was losing, or your savings were losing money due to inflation, because the rate at which money was losing value, it was way more than the interest that you were generating from your cash, from your savings, which is something that was not good at all. Now to see that figure coming, or the inflation coming from 7.8 to now 2.8, this is good news that I think all of the people, we all wanted to see, and it's something that is very, very great. So I am happy, I am excited, and this figure, like I said, it's good. Right now in South Africa, we are not having an issue with inflation. What we need to do, or what the SA Reserve Bank needs to do, if all goes well today, is to drop interest rates, right? If all goes well today, they can be even aggressive to drop it by 0.5% or even 0.75%. Who knows? But we will wait. We will see what transpires after today's, or to the meeting that is happening later today, which I will give you the developments as they come. So tell me what you think about this, man. I just thought I'd give you this quick update. Like this video, subscribe if you have not, because this is the kind of content that I share on this channel. And if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so that you be the one or the first person to be notified every time I drop this kind of news, which is what I do on this channel. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I will see you on the next one, my dear friends. That's all from me, and God bless you all.